Hello, guys. This is Sherry from pwird. Welcome to our show. So, tonight I have got a very special guest coming up. His name is Derrick Glover. He is a survival. Excuse me, I'm repeating that. Survival. Excuse me, I'm repeating that. Okay, we'll start that again. His name is Derrick Glover. He is a survival specialist. He also works in doing the special survival bags, which are known as Bugout bags. I'm going to have Derrick come up with Samuel because Samuel is his partner in the company and the business that they're wanting to start. They both are working together. So we're going to be bringing them up onto the show where we're going to do a few interview questions with them. Then we're going to actually get them to present themselves as their company, what they're wanting to do, get you guys to be able to know what their interest in the survival is, what these bags are about, and hopefully get some potential buyers that will be very interested in these products because they are absolutely amazing and something that everybody is going to need with the way the world is. If you're investigators, if you go out on survival things, if you go out and you like to, do investigations, or you like to do all of the other side of investigating, which is not the paranormal, but maybe you like to do adventure stuff. These sort of bags are going to be absolutely amazing. I've been sent some videos and pictures and stuff of these contents that they do and these bags that they make, and it's absolutely amazing, guys. You're really in for a treat tonight. So let's not leave these guys sitting in the bottom any longer. Let's bring up lovely Derrick, which is the main owner of this new up and coming company that I am going to be sponsoring and supporting. Then obviously my lovely worker and one of my 18, lovely Samuel. So Samuel and Derrick are very good friends and they have been working together to get this idea. Now, Derrick's been doing it for a very long time, but Samuel's had interests and started doing things. And through meeting Derrick, he's become more involved. And now they've decided to do this really amazing idea, which is get these bags out there for people to have in survival and things that are going to be very beneficial to you if you're people that like to be outside or you're like people that like to be on adventures, anything like that. So first, if I get Derrick and Samuel to introduce themselves, we'll start with Derrick because it is Derrick's show. We'll get Derrick to introduce himself, talk a little bit about what you do, then the same with you, Samuel, and then we'll go from there doing the interview questions and getting the guys to ask you a few questions. Then we'll go into you putting your company out there and hopefully getting some buyers. So if I drop to the bottom and leave you two to talk, that's over to you. So just give any information on how they can contact you, your name, what you do, what your interest is, and same with you, Samuel. You know what I like.
Go ahead, Derrick, if you want.
All right. Well, my name's Derrick, and of course, we live here in Florida. I actually work at a milk factory right now to pay the bills, but this is something that I've done for ever since I was a little kid, growing up in the mountains of Tennessee. So it's always had a peak interest in me, and I grew up in a military family, so they always taught me different ways to survive without even bugout bags. And probably about 20 years ago, give or take, I really got into making bugout bags and building them, and started reading books about them. And I've hiked a couple weeks on the Appalachian Trail quite a few different times. I've done part of the Florida Trail on and off ever since I've been down here in Florida. So, I mean, whatever y'all want to ask, if I ain't got answers, I'll get answers for you. I'm not, a dictionary of it, but I'm pretty well knowledgeable about survival. Sam?
Well, my name's Sam, like you guys know. For starters, I've known Derrick for a few years. We live in the same apartment complex. I thought I volunteered with the American Red Cross and also worked for the American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, and this and that. I've been through quite a few hurricanes, and before Derrick, I thought I knew a few things. Derrick nicely humbled me on various different issues. And over the years, we've had our ups and downs, but we still come together and we brush it off. And so whenever it comes to trusting somebody, I definitely trust Derrick, especially on the issue of survival. One of the things is I thought about this a while back, and one of the things was I saw his bug out bags. He's made a couple for me, and he's given me a lot of supplies and everything over the years. I've never been able to match what he's given, but he has definitely given a lot. Another thing also is that in this chaotic world, you need a backup. You need something like if all hell breaks loose, then you have to be ready. And it doesn't necessarily matter. Just not just with out in the wilderness and everything. But I've known people that have been in riots, fires, and this and that. And many of them, if not any of them, didn't have anything to fall back on. A bug out bag can sort of change that and give you certain options that can save your life. But for the most part, Derrick, when it comes to survival, I can't think of anybody better. And so that's how it goes. And people know me. I work for PWI, and that's an honor for me, hugely. And so I thought that this would be a great idea to give a pitch out. And those people who work in cryptozoology, this can be very important to have something to fall back on in case all hell was to break loose or you got lost or this or that. Now, with all that, you can, if you have your bug out bag and you have certain essentials in that bug out bag, you have a fighting chance and everything. Not just your equipment, the electronic equipment, which is very important on cryptozoology, but a fallback, say like food, water, first aid, things like that, which can save your tail end very quickly. So, well, I guess we can start off with Derrick and tell them what's going on, and we can tell them what's going on.
Well, what we've been talking about doing is going to haunted places, hiking, showing how good the bags are, which can be just your basic bug out bag. It costs $100, or if you spend $400, I mean, the sky's the limit to whatever you want to put in your bug out bag. But you got to have 4 main components in there: your first aid, water, fire, and shelter. If you don't have that, then your chances of survival are very slim. I mean, but our main goal is to make 2 videos, go to either Ocala or go on an island and stay there for 24 hours, just to show you what the bags are capable of doing. And eventually, like, we're going to go up to Pennsylvania. The movie Silent Hill was based. We're going to go up there for a weekend to show what the bags will do. And then after that, we're going to pick a couple more places and go and just showcase the bags. And we'll try to every other week at least make a video or 2 videos every other week to put on YouTube, Facebook, that you can see exactly what the bags are, how whatever you want to put in them. And then we're going to and I'm going to make different bags each and every week, and basically we can make them for the desert, in the desert, in the time, whatever. We're just going to make different bug out bags for different environments, just to showcase some ideas to let y'all understand the different elements and supplies that you would need for wherever you're at. That way it gives you an idea and off from there. I got the idea that I should have done this a couple years, started selling them online. I really didn't think it'd go anywhere because anybody can buy a bug out bag. Just do they know how to use it? And I guess that's the main thing I want everybody to know is that you could buy one, but do you know how to use what's inside of your bug out bag? Because if you don't, you're SOL. I mean, if you don't know what you have in your bug out bag and how to utilize it, you're not going to make it out of the woods if you get lost. It's just basically what it boils down to.
I agree.
Well, one of the starters off that me and him came up with, and this is different, but it does have its merit, is like a rundown urban sort of area. And what I mean by urban is, say, like, I guess you can use the city of Detroit and everything. A lot of abandoned houses, a lot of fire damage, this and that. The place was a metropolis, big industry, metal, all kinds of things. It was doing very well, but over the years, it has declined. Many people have moved out. Many people don't feel safe and everything. But the thing is, with the bug out bag, if you get lost out in those situations, like I said, you have a fighting chance with the bug out bag until you can get someplace that you're secure and you're safe. With Derrick, Derrick knows his stuff and everything up and down. And with an urban sort of bag, it would come with a few things that are different. A place, something you can make a fire with, just in case you need to heat yourself and be warmed up. You've also got food in it that can last you a long period of time. And Derrick is somebody who is quick as anything to put water into those bug out bags. And the reason why you need water is because you need it to drink, obviously. You might need it to heat up some food if you can boil it. And then there's another thing also that most people don't take seriously is what are you going to flush out a wound? What if you get a wound and it's got gravel or it's got dirt? Water has the potential of flushing that all out. And then you've got the woods. You got the woods, and in certain places, especially like I said, cryptozoology-wise, with that, you have a lot of potential of making sure everything's okay. You can make your fire, you can make something to eat, or this or that, and you can make a base camp with that sort of thing. And somebody stays at the base camp while people do their exploring on that sort of issue. And I'll let Derrick take it on the issue of the woods and how it benefits like a mountain situation or a forest or things like that.
So pretty much what you guys are going to be doing will help anybody to do any sort of situation to do with outside. And the good thing about these bags as well, guys, is it will be done to your taste. You'll have the basic stuff that they put into there, but if there is anything that you're wanting that fits who you are, they will add that sort of stuff as well. Obviously, there is a price, but I feel that they're very reasonable prices and for what you're getting, and you're going to be able to survive, which is something that everybody should be able to do and everybody should know something about, not being funny. And the way the world is changing at the minute, even more so. So these sort of things are very, very good and should very much be on the market and should very much be something that every family should really have, because they're very, very beneficial and very good. So these guys want to do that. They want to sell this stuff, but they also want to learn you. So that's why it's good for them to have Facebook pages and YouTube channels, because then they can talk about that sort of stuff, talk about the survival side of it, as well as showing their videos. They can do educational things on the survival, on ways to survive. They can bring up things to do with what they do when they go out. That, there's so many different things that they can do to open their company, and it don't just have to be through making bags. It can be you educating your buyers as well, because how you have to look at it when you open a company, you've got to look that not everybody that comes to you is going to understand what a survival bag is, just like not everybody understands what paranormal or crypto is. You know what I mean? You've got to be able to educate them and show them what that is so that they can go out and use that safely. So that's what your YouTube and your Facebook pages would be for, to educate as well as doing your products. So if I go into asking these guys some questions, it'll be to both of you. So what I'll get Derrick to answer first, then Samuel. So I'll do the questions I've got here. Then you can, after, go into talking in detail about your bags, and we'll get the pictures up and show them that. Then you can talk in detail and just talk about your company and your plans, your ideas for the future, what you're wanting to see happen. And just try to reach out to your new potential customers, because that's what these guys could possibly become. So I'm going to go on to the questions. Remember, guys, if there are any questions that you're wanting to ask the guys as well, please write it in the room and I will go back over chat and read it out. So my first question is, how long have you studied about survival? So how long have you studied in it?
Ever since I was, I guess, I was probably 5 years old when my grandfather got me started in it, because he served two wars as a Navy. My uncle served in Vietnam, and my other uncle was a Navy SEAL. And then just slowly throughout the years doing Boy Scouts and all that. And when I finally got up to, I'd say after high school in '97, I started reading books about it and studying it. And so it's been a long.
Become a passion then, something that you was really into because you've seen it all your life. That's really, really good.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
And Samuel.
Well, I haven't been doing it as long as Derrick, but I've been through a lot of hurricanes in my time. I've seen a lot of hurricanes. I've been in Florida since 1991. I came from a military family too. And what I had seen, but also before that, went through a hurricane. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but it was called Hurricane Hugo, and that was in South Carolina. I saw massive oak trees overturned. I saw cars impaled with debris and everything. A lot of people didn't have a lot of food. They didn't have a lot of this or that. And many people but before that, many people got complacent dramatically because they never prepared for it and everything. Now I'm going to cut a little bit to the future. I've been through several different hurricanes. I've also worked for the American Red Cross and Salvation Army and a few other places. And most people, well, like I said, they get complacent in the way that they don't take certain things seriously. And those people that don't take things seriously, they're normally the ones who suffer to some degree. And like they don't have any food, don't have food, and you need more than just canned goods. You also need a lot of other things, such as water that's ready to go. If you have nothing to cook your food, no heat, you can't really cook your food, and that's why fire is needed. Whenever and then you've also got in a bug out bag, you've got first aid. I've dealt with the medical industry here and there and everything. And whenever it comes to a scratch or a cut or a bruise, there's times where you need to treat it and you need to treat it right now. Derrick taught me to have all that, to be prepared for that, to have it on hand, from antibiotic ointment to Band-Aids, even gauze, tape, things like that. And like I said, I thought I knew a few things. I realized I didn't know crap. And
very much so in the survival side, if you're out and stuff, because obviously if you cut yourself or you hurt yourself, your skin and the injury is exposed to bacteria, germs from being outside. So yeah, it's very important to have a bag that's got all of that in there, so you can sort that there and then on the spot. And I do agree, guys. So if I move on to your second question, what made you become interested in survival? Like, what made you want to make it more and to do it so that it reaches out to people?
That'd be Sam, honestly. He was the got me to start showing everybody, because I just made bags and everybody made fun of me, told me I was crazy, that I prep. I mean, I've got, I don't know, totes full of survival stuff. Anything ranging from a deck of cards to an MRE. I mean, I've got Bugout, and he was the one is like, you know, you need to get this out there, let people know. I'm like, dude, they're just gonna make fun of you because I've been made fun of basically the last 20 years of prepping. And y'all said, well, I'm a doomsday prepper, I'm a zombie apocalypse prepper, and da 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 da. I'm like, not really. I'm just, you know, trying to be prepared. And you know, I also just started as just hiking, you know, just make a bag to go hiking with. That's really how it all started. And then, like I said, Sam was the one who's like,
so through you doing it
you know,
for yourself to keep yourself safe and keep yourself comfortable, you
that
liked that. Yeah, and I get when you get people that criticize you and take a laugh at you, but I'm not being funny. Look at the world now. Look what's happening. All these things we could not imagine was going to happen is happening, and you know these bags are something you most definitely need. But you've got all these fires, you've got all these things going on that we've not. Yeah, we have it over the years, of course we have, but it's really bad at the minute. It's like all of the disasters are coming together at once at the minute. So these bags are really good. And people that want to sit there and laugh at you, let them laugh. That's how I look at it. Let them laugh because they don't realize the reality and the truth of life and what life has got in store. Okay. So, you know, I love your idea. I don't think you're crazy or bonkers. I think it's an absolutely amazing idea. And Samuel.
Well, I guess I got started, not really like Derrick did, but I got started doing all that. In 2004, there was 3 hurricanes that hit Central Florida in 1 year. Yes. And if you know, and if anybody knows about 2004 and those 3 hurricanes, no one would have ever saw that coming. And normally whenever it comes to one hurricane, people have to take weeks to repair the damage, get the wood out of their lawn and cut up and this and that. But that wasn't the case. It was far worse than that case because people could not have power because like I said, 3 hurricanes hit Central Florida in 1 year. So these people didn't have, a lot of them didn't have even canned goods whatsoever. Many of them over the years had said, well, a hurricane's not hitting Central Florida. I mean, no. We've gone for 40 years and it's not happened. I said bull crap, and I'm trying to watch my language, but I said bull crap and everything. And hell, my ex-mother-in-law made fun of me because I had 10 gallons of water and this and that. And I've always been interested in survival. But the thing was, it never freaking stopped because until those 3 hurricanes hit. Then people weren't making fun of me for that reason. And so whenever you have no power for weeks, and at that time, many people they didn't even have power for months in 2004. Mm-hmm. They didn't have it. So you think you have one thing done and one because things dried up. Hell, I know some people, and this might make you laugh, but I knew some people that stayed in their trailer during all 3 hurricanes and their trailers were gone. They lost the roof and this and that. Now, my tail end, I had my camp, I had my little stove, I had this, I had that, and me and my ex-wife were cooking rather well. I mean, not brilliantly, but that's how it went. And then cut to the future a bit, been through hurricanes here and there. And then cut further, I moved to this apartment complex and I knew a few people here and there. And then I met Derrick. Probably the greatest person in Derrick's life would have to be his son, the greatest person he's ever met. And Derrick, seeing how he was with his son, made me realize, and then he started talking about Bugout bag. Me and him started talking about Bugout bags, and I saw his supplies. I'm like, whoa. And I thought I knew a few things. I didn't know crap. I really did not know crap. And I was impressed massively. And so he did one for free for me, which I was always appreciative. And it was beautiful. And it was a beautiful piece of work. This wasn't just supplies. This was work that he did. And the thing is, I knew right away that this could save somebody's life. Just this bag alone could save 2 people's lives for 2.5 days, maybe 3 days. And so Derrick, people may make fun of him, but he makes sense in this world. And he makes sense. And people can underestimate him all day and all night. But at the end of the day, hell, I know more people are going to his place than anybody else. They're not going to be going to a shelter. They're going to Derrick's place. And so that's how it goes. I got one neighbor, wonderful person, and so we saw that, and we both saw that, and I was humbled. He was just like, here's some water. What do you mean here's some water? It's very hard to get. And then all of a sudden he's got 36 things of water ready to go at any time. And I'm sitting there like thinking to myself, what? And then that's whenever he explained to me about Bugout bags. And the more I found out, the more I realized I didn't know crap about survival. And I thought I knew a few things, but no, I was in the dark and he showed me the light.
That's awesome. Right, let me just read a couple of the questions. I'm not quite sure what Nada was trying to say. He's saying they get saying something like, it goes, because people are dying from this stuff, these guys know it. Those who die don't. They get panics. And I have this question: how much panicking impacts your DIRE survival experience?
DIRE.
So the pandemic, everything that's going on right now. Honestly, with everybody being scared like it is, I've seen prices of Bugout bags go from the basic one I sent you a video of $100 towards like $300 or $400. And people I've seen on just people I know trying to find medicines without having to go to hospitals and everything. There's no cure. There's nothing I could put in this bag to help cure or do anything. Only thing I can do is put in this bag, and if it does come down to it and they lock everybody in the house again, get locked down, at least you'll have food for 3 or 4 days for one person, enough water. I mean, you'll be set for 3 or 4 days. I mean, it's what these bags are. That's what these bags are mainly made for, to survive. My personal opinion, each house, depending on where you live, like here in Florida, you should have a hurricane bag in your house. If you're in Arkansas, you should have a tornado bag. I mean, whatever your environment where you live, you need to have you a bag for your house. If you have 4 people that you live in your house with, you at least need a week to 2 weeks worth of food per person, not including the water. And you're supposed to have 16 liters or 30 liters of water per day per person. And so, I mean, do your research, or I can sit there and put it in the links, what you should have per person in your house to survive if there was another scare, since we still are in a pandemic. I don't think we're going to get out of it anytime soon. So,
no,
my personal opinion
is it's been just yet. I believe it's here for a while yet. The other question was how much the human body can endure. What does that mean, Nardo? I don't get what you're trying to say there.
All right, so a human body can endure a lot, but if you don't have water, you're not going to last no more than 3 days, 4 days tops, maybe a week.
Yeah. Dehydration.
You can sit there. Yeah. After 72 hours, you start going delusional, and just after that, it's downhill. So, I mean, that's why water is the key of life, basically, when you survive. I can go a week without food, eating, berries or whatnot, but you're not going to go a week without water. That's a fact.
You could go without food and everything else, but water is a must. Like always, definitely. I know that. And Nada was agreeing with you all saying about the bags, because he says he's done them himself. People used to laugh at him, but now it makes sense, sort of thing. And he's saying that he agrees, and You know, he put, it's always, I wish I could do this or I could do that, but it's awesome when you gather all this you could have done to, I've done it, and wait for a moment to say, I knew I'm going to need this one day, and with a like sticking out tongue in on a face. So it's kind of like I told you so sort of thing.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Not just added on. I mean, water is very important. I'm not arguing that.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is that if you get scratched by something, then there is the possibility you're going to have to flush that wound out, because you don't, and it's not necessarily just bacteria, but you've also got, like, if you scrape your leg on a massive piece of wood, and you get the wood out, you still need to flush that stuff out. And water, let's be honest here, it's the universal thing to flush it out. And then you've also got a lot of other factors. You've got tons of other factors that go into that. Another thing also is food. Let's be honest here. You need to eat. And the food that goes along with it, we do MREs, which means meals ready to eat. And those can be done with, certain ones don't need, you have to add water to it. And if you don't have water, some of it can be useless. Then but with Derrick, the MREs that he has, some of them, you just tear open the package and you got an instant meal. And there you go.
And to your next question, this is Nada again. Is there anything your brain needs to know, like keep telling yourself I'm gonna survive, or the human body can endure a lot, help's gonna come, or just give up and wait to die? Is this a matter? Well, obviously, yeah, when you're in those situations where you're either trapped or you can't get away from somewhere, panic does start to come in, and this can make very strange things happen with your body. And sometimes it is good to talk to yourself and say, I can get through this, I can survive this. It gives you that determination to keep going, because some people will give up sometimes, don't they? That they start to panic, they start to worry. And so, yeah, motivating yourself and keeping your mind active while this situation is going on is a very important thing in survival, I think. I do. What do
you got to stay cool. Your mind will be the first thing.
Well,
your mind will be the first thing to play tricks on.
Yeah.
Well, another thing also, you can't count on people saving it. You can't count on them.
No.
You have to take care of it. You gotta realize that you have to take care of yourself to some degree, because if you think that any minute they're going to show up and rescue me, that is some of the most unrealistic thinking that you can do. But if you already have supplies on your back, then you have a fighting chance. Is there any guarantee that you're going to be rescued from a certain situation? No, there is no guarantee. That's why you take action for yourself to be ready. Now, some people have families and this and that, and so they have to be ready with all that. And so, how can I put this? You can't count, if a diehard situation happens, you cannot count on people coming to rescue you. You have to take action, and you have to take action now.
You have to count on yourself.
Yes, obviously.
It is only going to be you that keeps you going. There's nobody else there with you. You're going to keep yourself going. And how are you going to do that? Talking to yourself, telling yourself you're going to be all right, using the survival bag. You know, all the things you've been learned, things like that. You know, it's very important. The mind, like Derrick said, the mind is the first thing to go when you're in that situation. So it is very important to talk and keep your mind active, because it may help a little bit, you know. So
anytime I ever go out hiking and I've never been there, like my grandfather, my uncles, all of them always told me, learn your surroundings and always stay with a very open mind of your surroundings. Always study where you're going to go, because that could save your life in the end.
Yeah.
And if you get lost out there, take your knife and cut one side of the tree. That way, if you feel like you're going to go around in circles and you get lost, where you're going to see your cut in your trees, so that way you know you've already passed by that spot once. There's all different types of different ways to survive to know that, all right, well, I've already been here once, so let me stop. Let me recalculate what I'm doing. Let me refigure out what I'm doing. I've always got some kind of map of where I'm going. It's just common Cub Scout, Boy Scout thing. Well. Always have a map.
Like a coloured string, putting a big string and some scissors in, and you could cut it. You could tie that round a tree that you'd know that that's you as well. You know, you've got so many different ways you could do things to know. You know,
yeah, they just got to stay calm, stay situational awareness, and don't sit there and don't psych yourself out. As soon as you start psyching yourself out, your mouse is going to pull the plug. You're done.
Yeah,
that's it.
You've got to stay positive and determined.
And that's where your instincts tell you calm down, think rationally, or you can run on instinct, not that way of panic, but on instinct of what you can do and what you can't do. Because if you get into your own head, if you are getting into your own head and you're thinking, well, this is going to happen and all kinds of negative stuff is happening, then that negative stuff is happening because you set yourself up for it. For me, and this is individual, I'm not saying anybody else, I try to keep a neutral mindset. I try like y'all to keep a neutral mindset. And this sounds stupid, but I try to not think. I try to react, work with things, work with my environment, and to stay as calm as humanly possible. Because if you're scared half to death and you let things get into your head, then you're done. Then you're completely done. But like I said, one of the reasons why I believed in these bug out bags, not 100% of the time, but like I said, if you go into your bug out bag and you pull out a Mylar blanket, that you're going to know and you're going to see that from a distance, and you can tie it and it shows where you're there.
Yeah, I agree. And then Nada put, what if you break a leg in the middle of nowhere? Is there anything in the bag for that? Or what can be done? How much blood you can lose? Or it's like Hollywood movies, just cut your leg off. No, you wouldn't cut your leg off because that's the worst thing you could do. I would say, like, when you're in nature, now I'm a witch, okay, and I know that nature gives you everything, okay. If you break your leg and you're in the middle of somewhere, you've got knives and things in that bag, yeah, and you're going to have your own things you put in, like ropes and stuff like that. What would you do? Do you know what I would do? I would get 2 branches from the tree to make a stump thing to go either side of my broken womb or whatever, and I would string it up so that it stays in one place. I know it might sound stupid, but that is what I would do if I knew I can't get to a hospital at the minute. You would make sticks. You'd make a stick or something that helps to hold you up. There are things in nature to help you with that. And I know that, like, Derrick and Samuel probably have lots of suggestions for that. But I would, you use the stuff that's in nature that's there. Tree stumps and branches are there for a reason, not just for you to admire and look at. They can become a survival thing one day, even I know that. So, but they're saying, what do you have anything to cater for broken bones and anything to do with blood loss?
On my dad's side of the family, we're Cherokee Indian, and up there in Tennessee, it's called red clay. So an old medicine man told me one time when I was a kid, if you ever have a broken bone, get you some water and make that clay to where it's like mud, and you wrap it around your broken bone. And when it dries, it's like a cast that you get from a hospital.
That as well. Yeah, that as well.
Yeah.
See,
so,
like clay, tree stumps and whatever, anything
that
in place.
Blood loss. Take your shirt, cut a piece of your shirt. I know it's going to hurt like hell, but you better cauterize your wound. I know it's the last thing you want to do. I promise you it hurts. I've done it in there. After you cauterize your wound, take your shirt, make a tourniquet out of it, get you some leaves, wrap it around it, and depending on how bad it's broken is what you can and cannot do. But yeah, cauterize it, make your tourniquet out of it. If you can't go nowhere, get you a fire and start putting as much green stuff on it so you can make like a smoke cloud, a smoke signal. There's all kinds of things you can do to get out of there.
Yeah, smoke
And
signals are
hope
good.
you're not. Yeah. So I mean, there's endless options. It's how far you use your imagination in the woods to survive. I mean,
Well,
Yeah,
I would say. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Well,
I was just replying. Sorry.
Well, you read my mind on what I was going to say, Sherry. And also, Derek taught me about the red clay a long time ago. So, and you two read my mind, I would make the splint, number one, and then after that, wrap it up in the clay and everything and wait as long as I possibly can. Hopefully, it dries quick. Make myself a crutch, and and also, like I said, if that was to happen, and I know there's a town south of me, then I would use the sun, because the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. I would go south. I would use the sun to make myself go south to the nearest town that I could get to, and that's what I would do.
So, some very interesting questions and answers there, guys. Always civilians exist near rivers and stuff. Yep.
like if you ever get lost and you find yourself next to a river, follow the river out of the woods. 90% of the time, it'll take you to a town or a village or something like that. Always follow it downstream. No,
I mean Hollywood is making people think wrong about this stuff. You see the guy take 5 gunshots and still walking. So when they actually get shot once, it's more than enough. LOL. So bad information. Yeah, movies are not always truthful.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody getting shot and things, we know that that's a bad wound, okay, and they are going to need medical help. You're not going to be walking through a woods for hours and hours and hours, are you? You're going to need to find a way of cleaning that wound out, make sure it's not gets infected, get it covered, things like, you know what I mean? If you're in a situation where you can't get out of it at the minute, you're going to have to do the best thing. Even sometimes that may mean removing the bullet from the body, cleaning out the wound, and then doing something to keep it covered, and like we said, getting something to strap around your leg so your leg doesn't bend and it doesn't cause any problems. Like there's just so much. Movies, don't ever go by what movies show you, because it's not all true. You know what I mean? And that's where people get into bad situations and do stupid things.
Well, that's why. Well, with movies and television shows, you got to remember this: it's entertainment. It's entertainment. And entertainment's not always 100% of the time going to show you the best way to do things. I mean, we watch entertainment to escape reality, but reality says something different. If you get shot, you have to take care of yourself as quickly as possible, or if it's an accidental shooting, you take care of it. You're not going to be walking 3 or 4 miles and saying, well, I'm the tough guy. I can make it. No, you take care of it. You try to get yourself secure and try and get yourself into a secure area. Then you take care of the wound and you do what you can. But like I said, whenever it comes to Hollywood, it's about entertainment. It's not always about.
Yeah, it's not real life, is it? Well,
yeah,
it's not.
Yeah,
really,
no,
it's just made up stories. It's something that leads people in the wrong direction, and it's not just in that sort of stuff. It's in all of it, paranormal and all that as well. You get misled in a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? That nada, yeah. And some people are worried about they get naked or something. Dude, if you're dying, just use everything you can. Don't give a dang about your appearance if your life depends on it.
Yeah, I'm going to be walking the catwalk in the forest.
Hey, there's that TV show, Naked and Afraid, that's been going on.
We're going to turn into Tarzan and Jane, you know what I mean? Like, just get the costumes, bust it out.
I'm going to watch what I say, because
well, like I said, they got that TV show, Naked and Afraid, that's been on for, I couldn't tell you how many seasons, and I think it's probably one of the stupidest TV shows out there. And if it wasn't for me having my son, I would have already applied for the TV show Alone, where they send you in Alberta, Canada, and you're out there, you're by yourself, and if you win, you get like $1 million. but you're out there for, it could be 1 month or it could be 6 months, but you only allow 5 or 6 things to take out there in the wilderness with you. And I watched the TV show, the very first season. This guy walked right into the bear den. I'm like, he started crying because the bear was following him and tracking him. Like, well, you're the idiot that didn't pay attention to scat and tracking. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. That's something I want to do. I would like to do a TV show like that, just to sit there and show everybody. It's like, even though I'm not military, I'm just a hillbilly redneck, but I could sit there and survive off the land just as good as anybody else, not better.
Exactly, and it is really important to do. Right, now I'll do again. And I have this question too. In the snow, if you dig a grave and go deep inside the snow, I heard somehow there's some heat and it's warmer from the surface. Is that true?
All right. So on that aspect, that is very true. But while you're digging, you got to take your time, because if you start sweating, then you're going to hit hypothermia and you'll die by the time you get your hole dug. So if you just take your time, once you get your hole dug, yes, you will find warmth in your igloo hole, so to speak. Just don't sweat while you're doing it, because you will go into hypothermia. So it is true, yes.
What you have to be worried, think about, like, if you've not got anything with you to keep you warm or anything, and you're doing that, you're going to just freeze to death. Like, no, I've done that one. And walk towards the sun in the day and make sure the moon is behind you in the night when you're walking. You may even have to climb some trees to see the sun or the moon. But is it still a good information, right?
Yeah, I mean, depending on where you want to go and how you got to get out of there, honestly, that really depends on what setting and environment you're at. Yeah. But if you're in, let's say, a jungle, you're not going to see where the sun rises and where the sun sets because of the canopy above and top of you. So you got to get up and get there.
Depends on the environment.
Yeah. So,
but that's why you'd have other tools, things like compasses and things like that, other ways to be able to tell how to get out of somewhere. You know what I mean? You have that sort of stuff in these bags. There are things in there that can help you and be beneficial. Mm-hmm. Like you said about the snow, they do say that another way is to strip naked and to use each other's body heat, because that's meant to help. You meant something about, but I don't know how true that is, and I don't think you're going to want to sit in the middle of a freezing cold place, strip naked, and then start huddling someone. I'm not being funny. You're going to freeze to death. But that is meant to be another survival technique that you're meant to be able to do. But
that just sounds wrong. It just sounds wrong. I mean,
why would you have to strip down? You're already cold.
That's why I'm saying it.
You know what I mean? Like,
it sounds like a bad date. It sounds like a really bad date.
Yeah, but that is something that they say that you're meant to do to take your clothes off and use the body heat of another person. That is what you're meant to do. It's meant to keep your body heat at a right temperature or something. It's weird.
The way I see it,
you're running 98.5 to 99 degrees.
That you've gone that way with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, not with your best mate or something. You know, imagine having two blokes having to huddle each other now.
Like I said, that's a bad date. It just sounds like a really bad date. I mean, it's like, come over here. Let me keep warm with you, Charlie. No. Two men do not want to get that close.
That's what I'm saying. So just make sure you don't have a male companion when you decide to try and do it. Make sure there's a female.
I mean, no flowers, no candy. It just sounds like a wrong thing. I mean, you can still get close to somebody with your clothes on. You can get close. If you're wet, I could kind of understand it. But if you're fully dry, but it's very cold, then huddle up together. But I think probably it would just, at least with me, it make me extremely uncomfortable. I mean, I don't want to see a naked
just stay dressed, guys, okay? You don't need to strip naked to stay warm. Just keep your clothes on and do what these guys are telling you.
Like I said,
I'm sorry I brought that up. Like, it is something I thought was quite funny, and I thought I'd see what your reactions were, and you both just laughed. So yeah, kind of what I did. Me and Sam in the snow talking about aliens. Oh, he's gonna kill me. and wear me. LOL. Come on, Sam, we're friends. Shepherd's purse
Oh,
tincture is great to stop bleeding. That's what Cindy said, which is good, is true. Shepherd's purse is very good. If you break a femur, they consider you have lost a liter of blood.
that's a femur. Yeah, that's a pretty bad situation.
Yeah.
But you've got to splint it. You've got to do what it takes to get the blood to stop. If you're not going to be able to completely set it, because if it's broke, it's broke. But you've got to stop the bleeding if you can. And this is just me, but I would do what I can to align the femur to the best of my ability, get the bleeding to stop, make a splint. And if I have to crawl somewhere, I have to crawl somewhere, but I'm going to use something to make a crutch with to get the hell out of Dodge. And because if that happened, then there you go. But that's one of the reasons why whenever you go hiking in a dramatic sort of situation, you bring somebody with you. Because if you're going by yourself and it's not an organized trail and you're by yourself and you're hurt, then it's going to make it worse. But that's why you have a bug out bag, because it's not always guaranteed, but you have a better chance of surviving a wound like that. You have a better chance of surviving various different things, because like I said, you have to do what it takes to get that stuff ready. And or this is just me, maybe make a campfire, park myself in there, and I don't know. It's just I'm still stuck on getting naked with a dude. I'm just still stuck.
No, that ain't gonna happen. I was just saying, like, don't go with another guy if you don't want that.
I don't want to go with another guy.
And I'm very, very, very sorry, Nada, that you lost your friend that way. That's very horrible. Somebody else said something. In the winter, it is recommended to strip naked as to not have any moisture to freeze. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is a known thing, and it is to stop any of that. But if you're in a cold country, somewhere freezing, you're really not going to want to be naked, are you? So you keep the clothes on, sort of thing. And for me, I don't think it's a great thing. Like, obviously, if they were wet, then I would just, maybe I would probably take it off, put something on, put a fire. But I don't think I'd personally want to be cuddling or snuggling up to somebody else naked. Definitely not.
Like I said, no flowers, no candy, no romantic calls, no.
Yeah, food is easier to find closer to river, because of the water and the way that it grows. So like things like berries and things like that, yes, it would be near to the water.
But that's why that's, at least for me individually, that's why I carry food on me. If I go hiking, I carry enough that just to carry myself. If I go hiking, I carry enough food for 48 hours. So, I mean, I've been taught differently, but I want to make my bag as light as humanly possible. But if an injury like that is to happen, like a femur or something like that, I'm going to park myself the best way I can and do what I have to do to survive. But with the bug out bag, food, I'm going to have it on me and be ready to go and everything. And so there you go.
That's very good that she survived, even though he'd done that to her 9 times. That's good, Cindy. Military cold weather training. Sorry. Yeah, no, and I understand that, because obviously I done an army training when I was younger, and that was one of the things that was said. So even though I laugh, I know that it is a thing and it can be done.
Yeah, it's
but it's less heard of these days, and not very many people use it. Right, let's go on to my next question. Right, I don't think there is any more questions in the room. My turn. Right, okay. So what made you want to start making the survival bags as a business then? So what got you into wanting to do it the business side and not the hobby side?
I'll let Derrick go first on that.
That was actually Sam's idea, because I just never thought there'd be a market for it. I mean, I know you can buy them, but I mean, the ones you get online compared to what I make suck. And they cost you a boatload of money. I mean, a boatload of money. And it's just, I was like, you know, so if they're charging $400 for something that's got half of what mine's got, so I'm going to charge $800 for mine. You know, I just never really put two and two together. And then, I don't know, within the past a year, maybe, I sold one to a friend for $300. I've made, I don't know, 4 or 5 other for people, for some of his friends. And he's like, dude, we should make a business out of it and see where it goes. And
it is a very good idea, and it's very good what you guys come up with, you know, and it is very beneficial. When I looked online the other day, because I was looking at your bags, and I put it into the search thing to see what they look, and they're very really bad online, and there is not that as much stuff in there that's beneficial. And you know, these bags these guys are making are absolutely amazing, guys, and everything you need.
Well, I will say
anything you need putting in there, they will do. You know, they will do it to your taste, which is
correct.
Well, one of the things is that with Derrick's Bugout bags, he doesn't believe in ripping people off. He does not believe. To me, he gets a little ridiculous on giving people their money's worth. He gets ridiculous. He goes over and beyond. Well, they'll need this. They'll need that. Derrick, you need to make a profit. No, Sam. No, I grew up this.
I'm the same. I just throw things in, and they're like, well, "You're not making extra money if you're doing that." Like, yeah, but they need it. You know, that's just what I like as well.
But
see, that's who I am. And that's the way I was raised. Like I said, I'm a hillbilly redneck. I'll give you my shirt off my back. You know, just I don't like to see people go without. So if I give them extra, you know. Yeah. But I agree with Sam. Yeah. I do get carried away. I really do get carried away.
But
I don't think that's such a bad thing all the time.
It kind of is. I mean, keep this in mind with Derrick. He will put in a lot of stuff and everything, a lot that is necessary, but he doesn't make much of a profit depending on the point of view. Derrick is an honorable, over-the-top honorable person that can get a little ridiculous sometimes, but he does it to where he gives a damn about people. But it's like, Derrick, you got to give a damn about yourself at some point. I mean, I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, oh, God, Derrick, no. And it's like he'll put $400 worth of stuff into a $250 bag, $400. And even then, but here's the thing with Derrick, he will not rip you off. And here's why. He grew up with Generation X standards and values. And with him, he goes over and beyond to do what is right, to make things work and to make things happen. And the people that are doing this online and everything, I'm sure they're wonderful people. I'm really sure they're wonderful people. But Derrick gives you more bang for your buck. And if you want to stick with somebody who knows what they're doing and has used those tools in real situations, then you can't count on anybody better than Derrick on that. And he is not going to screw anybody over. And like I said, he gets ridiculous on, no, I'm not ripping them off. Derrick, I'm going to say this jokingly, Derrick, you put $2,000 in a $20 bag. Damn, Derrick, come on. So, but for the most part, Derrick we're not about ripping people off. We're not. And for God's sakes, Derrick's morality he cannot do it. Otherwise, he'll be losing his mind. I mean, he'll stay up for 3 days.
That's why Sam's my partner.
But
he'll stay up Sam's my partner because.
Yeah, and you know it's good that they do that. And Nada said, but it's great. It's a great idea. Very honourable, trying to save people without them knowing. I like the way that you think, guys. And then he put, then he goes, now throw some money, Sherry. I can burn it to survive. Thank you, LOL. Throw a lot. It's the fire pit. If that was the case, you'd be throwing the money to me, Nada.
That's like one of those good problems. You got so much money. Derrick, I got to get rid of it. I got to get rid of all this money. That's like, it's just, I've never had that problem. That's like one of those wonderful problems. Oh, I've only got I've got all these thousands upon thousands of dollars. What do I do with it? I've never had that problem.
No,
That'd be one of the,
so Derrick, I
That
always
sounds like my
like you
house.
more, man. Keep up the great work, man. God bless you, and I'm sure angels watch over you and your family. I am sure they do as well. You know, he's doing good things. What did Cindy write? He was the nicest, quiet guy. Oh, nicest, quiet guy you would have ever experienced. He was an army ranger. She is in a wheelchair now, but still alive. He is in jail. It was a he and an AC repair guy. Oh, right. Okay. You're talking about your friend that got hurt. I'm very sorry about that. So, going on to the next question. Do you teach and train people about survival? Do you educate anyone?
well, he taught
In the
me,
past, I have, yeah.
yeah, Derrick taught me a lot. I knew a few things, but like I said, Derrick taught me a lot of what I know and everything. Like there's a trail over here. It's relatively safe. Yes, it has animals. Some of those animals are dangerous. It's called Pontoon Island. And some of those animals are dangerous. But I go walking there and everything, and I'm pretty much calm. I'm set and everything. But the one thing I do know is that if all hell, like if something happened, I know with common sense, a little bit of training with Derrick, I know what to do. I know how to act and react. And the biggest thing that I've learned on my own is to stay calm, because whenever you panic, everything goes wrong. But like I said, with my hiking bag, my general hiking bag, I have 48 hours worth of food, medicine, this, that, and everything. And like I said, thanks to Derrick, he taught me to safeguard myself in various different ways. So in many ways, Derrick may have potentially saved my tail end in some sort of way. And I thank you. I really do. I mean, if it wasn't for you, I'd probably be dead. I'd probably be dead on one of those trails.
So you have spoke to people about that sort of stuff and how to survive and how to do that. So you gave information. So if these guys were to come over and ask you about certain things, you'd be able to know what to say to them and help them and give them the best advice possible.
Oh, Derrick,
Like the pub, yeah.
That's who I'm on about. Yeah, Derrick. But obviously you're going to learn as well, Samuel. So you'll be the same. So they would be coming to both of you.
Like there's a pub right down the street from where we live. And every time I go there, we're always talking about survival and my bug out bags and, you know, worst case scenarios. And they're big conspiracy theorists and all this. And so we're all the time talking about survival and you know, they all laugh. But now that was a year and a half ago. We've been talking about it straight. And they're all like, they're getting to the point to where they're starting to come around. Like, maybe we should buy some MREs. Maybe we should buy a bug out bag. I'm like, well, y'all better do it before it's too late. Because if you ain't prepared. So I mean, it's just I always talk about it.
No, it does make more sense if people are starting to believe in it. And it's good to get talking about it with people, because that's how people learn and get educated. I was talking about burning stuff. Now I have a question. Is making a fire to a jungle to may save your life? I guess it depends on the jungle and the place that you're in. Some of them might catch fire. Some of them may be safe to do it in.
90% of your jungles, yeah, like 90% of your jungles are basically like rainforests. Making a fire in there is, you better know what you're doing.
Yeah,
and you got to have. I mean, it's.
Can you get arrested if you got it? Or may it kill animals or not worth my life? Well, it depends. That's what I'm saying. If you don't like Derrick said as well, if you don't know how to do it properly and that, then you could cause harm to yourself, to the wildlife, and to the jungle. You know, and it depends on the way the place is as well. If it's too damp or too wet, you're not going to get anything lit, because water and fire do not go together. So different scenarios, different situations, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on what you got in your bug out bag. I mean, it's the stuff I got called pirate's beard. That's like char cloth. You can put it in water, pull it out, fluff it up, and it turns into a ball, and you strike it in on the light automatically. So I
Yeah,
mean, it
he's
just
got stuff in the bag that you can use even if it gets wet, you can still use it. So he's
yeah,
got things in there to help you in that situation if it was to happen.
Well, one of the things with Derrick, he vacuum seals a lot of the stuff that he has in there, and it works beautifully. It's still there. Most of my stuff that I have in there, it'll keep the stuff dry. It'll keep certain things dry. Like if you put medical stuff into it and everything, that'll keep the stuff dry. It's almost impossible for moisture to set in. Then you've also got food items and everything. He has compilations of certain food items in it, and he vacuum seals those. I mean, he vacuum seals those and everything, and it works very well. We try with Derrick, especially, we try like hell to think of as many possibilities for all hell breaking loose and to minimize that hell that might be set before us. So we try to think of as many things. And one of the things also I brought up to him a long time ago was match your bug out bag with your environment. Because if if you're out in the desert, whether people believe it or not, yes, the desert gets hot during the day and then it gets cold at night. And people have been known to freeze or get very nasty frostbite. With some of the stuff that Derrick has in these bags, like a mylar blanket and everything, it's not going to prevent you from being cold, but it gives you a fighting chance against those elements. Then you've also like in a forest area, there's times where he puts small ponchos, which will keep a lot of your body dry. If everything's working out, it'll keep you dry. With food items, like I said, he vacuum seals those, and so that will keep your food working longer than what you may realize. You've also got a few other things, and also with his fire stuff, he vacuum seals that. So you have a better sticking with Derrick's product. Like I said, it has a better chance of working out. Is there any guarantee? No, there's no guarantee, but you have a chance with that. And that's why the first time
you got a bigger chance with his bag.
First time
he's got amazing bags.
The first time I saw that, I told him, "Why aren't you investing in this?" He just rolled his eyes, and I'm like, "No, I'm not kidding." He's like, "Come on, Sam, just shut up." I'm like, "No, this is a real potential product. This is something that can save your tail end over and over again." And Derrick brushed it off for a while, and like I said, he made a sale, and it worked. To me, he put a little too much into it. But the thing is, that woman that he sold it to, she has a chance on survival if all hell breaks loose. And because he may have unintentionally saved her life.
Yeah.
And then there are other things.
And how much? Sorry.
Then there are other things like riots. Every so often in the U.S., a riot breaks out in various different cities. A bug out bag is no guarantee, but if the power goes out, you can have something to cook your food with, not necessarily inside, but getting the hell out of Dodge. You have something you can cook your food in, stay warm and everything, because you don't want to be trapped in an apartment building in a city that has riots. You want to get out of there and go to the clear. And it may save your life. And whenever you bring a bug out bag, you get extra points for that. Sort of like if you're in a video game, it'd be a key component of saving your tail end.
How are flare guns? Are flare guns important and matter I think it's asking if it matters in survival. And even if people don't see it. The thing is with flare guns and things like that, it depends on your environment. If you're going to be flaring something up in the air and there's loads of trees and stuff, you don't really want to be doing it because you could cause a fire. So that's why you
flare guns are mainly for boats.
They're for more, they're more for like on the sea and things like that, not in actual it on land. You know what I mean? That'd be a disaster. You know what I mean? You use things like the little glow sticks and things like that, which he's got in his survival kit. You know what I mean? Like things that are safe for the environment and safe for you. You've got to be safe in the environment as well. There's no point you go into an environment doing all these silly things, putting that at risk, because then you're putting your life at risk, aren't you? You've got nowhere to stay, nowhere to be. So you wouldn't use things that are going to potentially put you in danger. And you'll find about asking questions. That's how we learn. How you learn.
Like in the bug out bags I make, you got 3 or 4 different light sticks. I always put a red one in there, which you see, it's red. That's for emergency. I mean, usually depending on what the bug out bag is, I like to put at least one red, one blue, and one green.
Yeah. So and that's what I'm saying. Obviously, red would normally be a hazard. It'd be a danger, isn't it? So they'll know something's wrong. It's a warning. You know what I mean? Green.
Right.
And that depends a lot.
And that's also a good way.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Well, with the glow stick also, it's a good way of finding your direction. You throw that on the ground because if you're lost, you're trying to get back to civilization of some sort, and you have gone around in somewhat of a circle, but you see that glow stick, it makes you think you got to try something different and you have a few of them, at least you'll know your way. And with the glow sticks, you can find your way back, especially at a night situation. So that could help you, and you'll be able to see it a lot clearer if you use it at night. So you have more of a chance with the glow sticks.
Yeah, most definitely. So my next question is, why is knowing survival important? Why do you think that it's important for people to know about survival?
The more that we know, the more we can survive, the more we can pass on to the younger generation. Like my son, for instance, the more that I could teach him, and not buy him, because I grew up in a very poor family. Yeah, my son is spoiled rotten, but he's learning. He will learn. So what we can pass off to the next generation of these kids, there might be some kind of hope for us as a society. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So you doing this, knowing this survival is important. It is important, in my opinion, as well, because obviously, like, what's going on in this world at the minute, you don't know what it's going to be like when our kids are growing up and when they become into adulthood and they have their kids. Things could be very different. So it is very good to take on that acknowledgement and to know things, you know what I mean? Because it's going to be very important. This world is getting stranger, as I keep saying to you.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, most definitely.
Nature is most definitely biting back, believe me.
Yeah, that's an understatement right now.
That's a polite way of putting it.
We're definitely a hurt back in mercy right now.
What are the most important skills to know about survival? What are the most key factor skills that you'd say is important when it comes to survival, to just for anybody? So, the basic skills that will help you to survive.
You want
learn how to read a map. Learn how to read a map. Learn how to read a compass. If you can't read a compass or a map, don't even bother going out in the woods. You're just you're wasting. I mean, you can go on YouTube and go on. There's courses you can take. I mean, that is like the most basic key thing. Learn how to read a map. Learn how to read a compass. Second thing is learn what is inside your bug out bag. Because if you don't, as I said before, you're wasting your time. If you're going to go out in the woods, you get hurt, and you don't know how to use a first aid kit or turn a flashlight on or start a fire, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Another thing I would suggest is knowing your environment, like Derrick has said, and dressing to your environment also, because you don't want to go out into certain areas dressed with shorts and sandals. The reason why I'm saying that is because I've seen people in camping areas where there are tons of snakes at and everything, and wearing sandals, you might as well just cut off your food and feed it to a snake. You might as well just do that. That's number one. Number two, wearing shorts, you might as well have eat at Joe's diner to an insect. It's like if I went out to the woods and I was wearing shorts and sandals, that's just an invite to get your legs bitten up, or if not, getting bit by a snake. Knowing how you're dressed, and this I've been looked at insanely, but I will have a long sleeve shirt. I will have gloves on. I will have very thick pants, boots, and something to cover my head. And also, I carry in, if I remember, I've forgotten this quite a few times, but I'll wear insect repellent while I'm doing all that. The reason why this is all at is because I'll deal with the heat. I'm used to humid areas. But the thing is I'm not getting bit up. I'm not inviting a snake to bite my foot. And it also, not always, but it can keep certain scents out of an animal that may be stalking you. It not always, but it has the potential of preventing that. Is there a guarantee? No, there's no guarantee. But if you cover up the correct way, like I said, you have a chance.
So, your most important skills, guys, is knowing how to read a map, know how to read a compass, know what's in your bug out bag, and
situational
wear
awareness.
sensible clothing, obviously. Sensible clothing, as Samuel said, and just gradually just knowing your surroundings and your environment as well, so you're not putting yourself into a situation. And another thing that I could probably suggest to you, if you are newcomers and you don't know about any of this stuff, there are books and there are things you can look up on. You can come to these guys because they know, if there's not something you're sure of or you don't know what to do, you could come and talk to Derrick. If Samuel knows anything, I'm sure he'll put his views across as well. That's why these Facebook pages and YouTube's really good, because they'll be able to reach out to you in that way, because not everybody that comes to you guys is going to know all this stuff. And at the best thing first is making sure you've got books or got some sort of way that you can look this sort of stuff up and study about it before you actually think about going actually doing it. Learn about it a little bit, so. And you've got these guys that you can come and talk to, because they do that, they go out, they do things, so that's another way. And just following them rules, staying alive is important, and if you listen to the advice, then it'll help. Number 7 is, can anyone become a specialist in survival?
Of course.
And how long would it roughly take someone to actually be able to say that they know quite a lot about survival? How long would it take you?
I wouldn't say no less than 5 years, honestly. But you can sit there and read about it. You can read about it all you want and call yourself a specialist, but how many hours do you actually have on the job being out in the woods? I mean, there is a way
if you're going to become a specialist, you're going to learn the educational side first, aren't you? You're going to do all the reading up, you're going to do all the learning. Then you've got to do the other side, which is where you go out, you get used to being out in the environments, how your stuff works. That's when you can say that you're a specialist, when you actually know how everything works and how you survive and how to live actually in that, instead of just giving advice.
Well, then there's the other thing. I will say this much. You have to know your environment, because, and the reason why I'm saying that is because if you look at a desert, if you take a look at a desert and you see cactus, depending on what kind of cactus, you don't want to touch it, which is obvious, but some cactuses have water in them that can keep you hydrated, like a barrel cactus.
Yeah.
If you have a barrel cactus, you cut it and be very careful how you cut it. and get the middle of it, get the liquid that's in the middle of it. Then you've also got the forced, which is pretty obvious. That's Derrick's specialty. A little too much. He's too damn good for my taste. But you go to the mountains and everything, knowing your environment, knowing how that goes, taking a look at your surroundings, knowing snakes, and even then, I would also recommend a snake bite kit. If you can get one, use it. Well, not use it, but learn how to do it. And so that
snake bite kit is also good for any insects, spiders. I mean, it's all around purpose. It's good. It's good to have in a bag, whichever.
Especially a brown recluse in Florida, those spiders are feared. And so if you can get that sucker, if you can get the poison out of it or whatever the hell the liquid is, get it out.
Or make sure it doesn't lay eggs inside of you.
Well, that's too friendly.
Yeah. So, these guys know their stuff. So, it's going to be really good if they get their YouTube channel and their Facebooks and that all set up, because then you guys will be able to follow them in a more detailed way instead of just having the show here. But this show should hopefully get it out as well. So our next question is, what are your future plans for your survival business and for future projects?
Honestly, Sam and I talked about it before, and I actually wouldn't mind making a TV show out of it and just traveling the United States or the world and just showing people, like people that doubt us, like, oh, your bug out bag. Well, here, send me an email, send me a location, tell me what to put in my bag, and I'll show you how good my bag will work. That type of scenario. Yes, I know it's not going to happen off the very beginning, but
like a TV program where you can educate and show people
exactly,
what is beneficial.
I think it'd be awesome. I mean, I know I got vacation next week with little man, but when I come back, I like to start with the YouTube channel like we were talking about and doing it on my days off, because you can do 2 or 3 episodes in an 8-hour day. So me and Sam are going to have to sit down and talk about. But yeah, definitely, y'all got me wanting to do this more in the past week than I have in the past year. So I'm really.
I know that, you've got Facebook. You can do Facebook page and Facebook group. Like I said, you can do Facebook lives. You can do lives on obviously YouTube as well. There are different areas like podcasts where you could do live podcasts where you're talking about survival and things. There are so many ways to reach out and to get yourself out there. So, in the future, hopefully that is going to be the sort of thing. Because obviously, you want to be on TV, but you want to be reaching out to the guys that are here now, the guys that are going to help you.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So you want to have different networks to go out on. And that follows me on to your next question. Where would you like to be with what you're doing in 5 years' time? Where would you like to see yourself? Would you like to be fully in your company, have a TV program, very successful? Where would you like to be?
I like to have our own instructors, and just not just here in the United States, have our whole branch of all the way around the world. Just, I guess, our own community of everybody, a survivalist community. That way we all started it. Now everybody's just one big, huge family, I guess.
So you would like followers, people that follow you and become part of your company, become part of your business, help you to do that work and to put it out there and be. So you would educate them to the levels that they need to be. Then they would go out and do what you do.
Because I like to go back to school. Yeah, because I like to go back to school. I've been looking at it. I used to build trauma bags. I built one. I had the fire department look it over, and they signed off of being a certified trauma bag that it was good enough to put in a ambulance. I mean, it took me a year to build it, but it was that good.
But it doesn't matter about the time scale. At least you know that you're going to be getting the right quantity and you're going to be getting the right things, and it's going to be the right stuff. It's not going to be anything that's going to not be relevant. You know your stuff, you know what you're doing. And, if there are people that have got the passion and the love for what you do as much as you, they're going to be happy to go along with that as well, aren't they? At the end of the day, you are the real deal and you're very good at what you do. And I do think this idea is absolutely amazing. And we're all going to let's face it, we're all going to need something like this, guys. Believe me, this world is not slowing down. Okay, so you know, you've got that. So what I would like to do is, if I bring up the videos that were sent to me by Derrick and by Samuel, we can show you them videos, and then Derrick and Samuel can talk to you about the products and pricing, what each pack price would be, you know, because guys are going to want to know the pricing, the different size packs, what sort of things you're going to get in it, get all of it. That's what this show's about tonight, is for you to get that all out there, so guys kind of have an idea what to land on. So if I share the screen so we can bring it up, hang on. Facebook. I don't know if you can. Why do that? Message me at inappropriate times. Thank you. Right, so here is the first video. Hang on a minute. Can you see that, guys, or am I going to have to do it again?
No, we can see it.
I can see it.
You can actually see the video, yeah?
Yeah, we can see it.
Right, okay, right. Let me just put that up to. Oh, yeah, that's all right. Like that, they can see that. Okay, so go back and let's press it. I've put the sound on.
All right, video number one. This is what your basic bug out bag is. Nothing special about it. I mean, it's just enough food, everything for 2 people, 48 hours, 36 hours. Like I said, you got your mirror, ponchos, thermal blanket, your basic first aid. You gotta have your plane car. That right there is a squeezable flashlight, so we can run out of batteries. This right here has got a compass, a whistle. You put these matches inside of there and it stays waterproof. You got these for emergencies with glow sticks. Your fuel tablets for your stove. And then your cup to make coffee, boil water, whatever the case may be. And then your bag to put it all in. Like I said, it's all about $100. It's perfect to start your bug out bag collection with. You can just go from there and put whatever you want in it. These you do not have to have water for. You just heat them up or eat them cold, whichever way. These right here take warm water or cold water. It doesn't really matter. It depends if you like cold or warm food. And you got your water. So that way you got to go. If you're not around, just to tide you over till you get somewhere to get water or wherever the scenario might be. All right, we'll stop with this video and I'll make another one and we'll do a couple more videos since we only do 3-minute long videos. All right, thank you. All right,
So then going into the second video. Oh, I need to put the sound on. Excuse me, guys.
Bug out bag. All right, so back to the bug out bag. Some more about these. These right here have crackers, peanut butter, Skittles. I mean, it's got all, just everything you need. It's like 1,100 calories. So if you're out in the wilderness, you're not going to be eating 2,000 calorie diet. You're roughing it. That's all really basically what it boils down to. These just don't have no heaters in them. And not as much the food in is what these have. Still got your waters. So you only need one of these. There actually be about half of one of these to make you a hot meal on this, which is really cool. I like them better than the other ones in the $100 bag. But each their own. It's good and good survival if you can't go to fire and get hot water going, something like that. That's the way to go. They're the best thing out there, honestly. Your live straw. Your live straw, you're getting about 1,000 gallons out of the dirtiest water there is. So Sawyer is probably one of the best live straws out there, but just for a regular bag to get through the woods, this is what you want right here. I mean, you can see just put it in the water with something just like a regular straw, and it pulls out 99.99% of bacteria, E. coli, the whole 9 yards. It's really, really good. I like them. Can't go wrong with them, honestly. I got 2 or 3 in all my bug out bags, so it's not a bad deal. I mean, still, it's all going to fit in this bag as well, like, showed you last time. So, I mean, it's a lot more, you get a lot more value, a lot more bang for your buck than what you do on the $100 bag. All right, we'll do another video in just a second. All right, so back to the...
So the first bag was your basic one. The second one is your medium size. This one that we're going to show you now is the large one. And there is larger from what I believe as well.
All right, so this is video number 2. This would be the $200 bug out bag. And as you can see, you got to upgrade on all your medical, your gloves, alcohol pads, wipes, antibiotic ointment, itching cream, a bunch of band-aids, cold packs, wraps, bandages, a little bit more than just what your basic first aid kit is. Got your live straw, which means you can drink out of basically any water there is. Got your basic, I mean, you got your card, your pen, notebook, batteries, your mirror. Basically, everything come in the front with the random basic bug out bag. We got this stuff right here. No matter if it gets wet, you can start a fire with it. It's just wad it up and it floats up like a ball. This right here is a little bit different. If it gets wet, it's not going to light, but that's why we put that in there. You still got your glow sticks, your ponchos, your Mylars. Still got your tablets, your stove, and your cup. Now we go over here to these. These MREs actually have a heater in it, which means the heater, you put water in it, you put your food in it, you automatically will have a hot meal no matter what. These will last 1 day apiece, where these aren't as much of a calorie of what these have. But you have your water. And, it's just a little bit bigger than what your regular basic bug out kit would be. And we'll go to another video here, number 3, in just a second.
Right.
All right, so this is video number 2. This would be $200 bug out bag, and as you can see.
So that was the videos that was sent over to me. They are the content and the bug out bags that Derrick and Samuel are working on. These are going to be the sort of things that they will be, selling and putting out there for people to be able to purchase. As I said, all of the bags that you purchase can be done to your need and to your taste. The things that you're needing to be added into what is already there can be done. You can add your own things into the bags when you receive them as well. It doesn't just have to be the stuff that they get. You could put other extra foods in there, rope, whatever you feel you need to go on that occasion. But they will cater for you as well, guys, if you are open to them and say. I'm sure I had some pictures and stuff of them as well. Because see if I can get the picture thing up, then you guys can explain it a little bit to them, because then they've got something to look at while you're explaining it, because they might not know what you're going on about. So if I try, oh wow, okay, stop messaging me. I'm trying to do the live. Excuse me a minute. Sorry, it really puts me off when people start messaging me in the middle of doing my bits. So going back, we're not going to the video bit. We're trying to go to the bottom bit. Where's the pictures? So as you see, oh right, we go to the first pictures that you sent me. So we'll start off here, and then I can just go through them. So that is the first picture you sent me. So if you explain to the guys each picture that I put up, I'll let you explain in detail. You put your thumb up when you finish talking about that one, and I'll put the next picture up.
All right, so this is basically my tactical bug out bag. You got yourself a 13,000 lumen headlamp right there beside your water bladder, which your water bladder holds 2.5 liters of water. The MRE to the very top right, I personally like making my own MREs just for the simple fact I can put whatever I want in them. And like this one right here is probably 36 hours. You got coffee, you got oatmeal, you got espresso, you got 2 different dinners in there, 2 different breakfasts, desserts. I mean, what you get for a military MRE and then what I make for an MRE is a world of difference. That's probably 4,000, 5,000 calories right there just in the MRE that I made.
Yeah.
Now, everybody doesn't have to have a big, huge machete. I personally, I would, if you're going to go out in the wilderness.
That's your sword. That's not a machete. That's a sword. I can picture I can picture it right now. That's a Roman gladiator sword. And the only thing that's missing is a shield and a helmet. But the thing is, it's a good one. I bought one off of him, and it's still pretty darn good. And like I said, with Derrick, he's a perfectionist. He wouldn't know what to do if he ripped somebody off, and he couldn't do it. That's how it goes.
Like if you go right below the sword, as Sam calls it, we see this little black kit. It's a tactical pen, a tactical knife. It's got another compass in there. It's got a flint rock. It's got fish line. It's basically just a bug out kit inside of a little box. So it's got a lot of cool, neat stuff beside of it. If you go right there beside the notebook, you'll see a little canister. That is it's a police pepper spray. It's not like your regular civilian pepper spray that you get at the store. When I say that stuff is gnarly bad, it is, it'll bears, not really bears, but dogs, your domestic animals.
And it also works.
People.
It also works on it works on boars, and it also works on bears. And so at Derrick, it works on a various different array of animals, and is also quite effective against human beings too. And when it sprays, it stays in the eyes. That's the advantage of what Derrick gets.
If you go to the bottom left, you'll see this little red kit. This is the very bottom. Yeah, right there. That is a very tactical. When I say tactical, it's a very tactical snake bite kit. It's not your regular basic snake bite kit. You got tourniquets, razors. I mean, it's gnarly. It's gnarly bad. It's right above that, hygiene. Hygiene is most key important. If you don't have hygiene while you're out there, you can staph infection. I mean, you name it. You can really mess yourself up if you don't take care of yourself while you're out there. And all this right here is just your basic first aid stuff. There's nothing special, nothing fancy. You got your creams, your wraps, your ace bandages, stuff like that, your Band-Aids. Right there at the very bottom, it's an ammonia salts. So if you get knocked out, and if you're hiking with a buddy, he'll pop that and he'll bring you right back out of being knocked out. That's what boxers use, MMA fighters, people that are working out, and give them an extra jolt of energy. If you break your femur or break a leg or something like that, and you feel like you're going in and out, you take that ammonia salt and you pop it. It'll give you more life to get going and whatnot. So it's a really good thing to have. These matches right there, they last a lot longer than what a regular match does. They're windproof, waterproof. So it's not everybody wants headlamps or anything like that. Personally, in my bug out bags, the brighter the light is, the less chances are you're going to break a leg in the middle of the night or anything like that. So the higher lumen that you can get, the better off you're going to be. And like I said, that thing's 13,000 lumens. That's like having the sun when you turn that thing on at night. It's bright.
Oh God. Yeah,
it's extremely bright.
Yeah,
the
he likes light.
Yeah, the flashlight's like 3,000 lumens. So I mean, it's not the brightest out there, but I'll tell you, it's pretty bright. So I mean, it depends on how much you want in your bag and how much you want your bag to weigh. This is just a tactical bug out bag I made, and it just sits in my closet. And I got 4 or 5 other bags I got in my closet. I'll tear apart when I get bored, and I'll redo it and make another one, or add to it, take away from it. Yeah, right there. It's like I said, the MREs that I make and the vacuum seals are way better than the ones I was showing you. This still has a heater in it. So it's just, you got more food with less space taken up, like you have those other 4 packages. Those 4 packages I put in that there. So it's whatever, teach your own. If you want like a regular military MRE, that's fine. If you want one pre-made, I can't sit here and say, look, you're going to get a beef taco and chicken bites in every one. It's just whatever I get when I get my MREs sent to me in the mail. So I can't sit here and say,
it's a surprise,
if you want a vegetarian one, I think I got 5 or 6 vegetarian meals sitting in there that nobody eats.
You just have to state if you're vegetarian, though. State that you're vegetarian so they know.
Yeah, I got one. See, that's the same. Let's see here. Yeah, there's your life straw. Like I said, that life straw will save your life if your bladder runs out, because you can take that in mosquito-infested water. Excuse me. Got larva, feces. It pulls out 99.99% of bacteria, E. coli, etc. I mean, they're really, for the price that you pay, you can't go wrong with them. Like I have to send you a picture of it. Go ahead.
These are the bigger ones. I'm taking it. These are the more bigger ones, guys.
Yeah, that's this is what I would call base camp, because look at all the food. I mean, this is just a boatload of food that you're going to sit there base camp for a couple of days. I mean, you're probably looking at.
You've got all of your usual bits that he was saying about there, but you've got lots more food. Then if you go over the other one, it's pretty much the same.
Well, I will say this much. I will say this much about the base camp one, as Derrick was calling it, because the biggest reason why I was thinking of the base camp one is because if people are doing a cryptozoology sort of thing, but they go out on their own, but one person stays there, they can have the fire, they can have this, they can have that, a safe place that they can, that people can come to, and also the person could start a fire, get some water going on for the MREs that you might see in that. Also, the person with the base camp one can also have medical supplies in case somebody gets a nasty scratch or something goes into a wound, or there's a wound that needs to be treated. That's the advantage of a base camp one. A base camp. If somebody's staying there, and the other investigators, like in cryptozoology, that would be a more of a desirable one, because if you have 3 or 4 people and the 4th person stays at the camp, then it's going to make things a lot easier. Go ahead, Derrick.
Like if you go to the bottom left down here, that black bag with little bags on top of it, if by chance you run out of food, you've got snares, you've got fishing line, and this little thing right here, this little band, is called paracord 550, which for every inch once you unravel it, is a foot. So if it's 6 inches long, you got 6 feet of rope when it's unraveled. Well, if you cut the ends of it off, you got 5 to 7 little ropes inside of it to make you a snare, a fish line. I mean, there's so many different survival scenarios and uses for paracord 550 that it's a must-have in every bug out bag. I mean, it's a necessity, honestly. And like I said, you got your spoon. This little knife right here, it's got the paracord on it, and it's got a little flint rock. So I mean, it's just what you want in your bag. I can figure out and put it in there. It's not that big of a deal. I've got all kinds of stuff. And then if I ain't got it, I can
cater for your need. If you just say the speciality that you're into and what you're doing, and they will know the sort of things to add to what they've already got here. Like, as you see, there's some amazing stuff, and that these bags are really, really good, guys, and absolutely amazing. Like I said, when I go on to a project or something that somebody's interested in, it's got to be something that I think is beneficial, something I think is going to go far, and I do believe these bags will. And survival is a very important thing in life, and even more so now. And I think these sort of bags will be very beneficial to a lot of families and researchers, investigators, people that like the outside, and those that don't even have to go outside. We're having a lot of natural disasters at the minute where electric and things are getting cut out. These sort of bags can help you for a few days and your family. Like I said, you can add your stuff, you can ask them to add things, and they will cater to your needs. And the prices are genuine and good. And I don't think that they're overpriced at all for what he puts there. There is a lot there, and it's all beneficial. It's all going to help you. So, they're genuine guys. They're truth. They're real at what they do. They're good at what they do. And I think this idea is absolutely amazing. Right, let me just bring down the picture so we can come back to us. So these were the bags, though, guys. You've seen the videos and the pictures. Obviously, when they get their YouTube up and running and they get the Facebooks up and running, you'll be able to follow the progress of their company, what they're doing. You'll have videos and pictures and things uploaded, obviously, as well. So you'll be able to be kept updated on what they're doing when it comes to making this business work. As I said, I am in association with them and I am supporting them and helping them. So, I am trying to push out there as much as I can, and will give them guidance and help as much as I can, as I always do to anybody I care about and I believe in. So, is there anywhere that these guys can contact you, Derrick and Samuel? Is there anywhere that they can add you so that they're able to communicate with you? Is there an email?
Yeah, they can.
Is there a Facebook?
You can. You can hit me up on Facebook, Derrick Glover. Send me a message. My email. Let's see if I can't type this in the chat.
Derrick Glover. So I've already done it. I've done the Derrick Glover name. See if that's Facebook.
Well, I guess the thing is, I work with Sherry. I work with Sherry very well. You can contact me through that with PWI. You can also, and also she has my email address, and that's ready to go for people.
I just sent you my email address in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, in the private chat.
Yeah,
oh, that's private.
And I'll put that into.
I don't know.
Is that okay to put that into?
I'm a survivalist.
But like I said, with Derrick, he knows his stuff. But with me, I'm the apprentice. I am the apprentice who's done a good job, but I'm nowhere near a master. But Sherry has my email address, and and also you can reach me through PWI. And there you go.
Derrick, are you wanting me to put your email address into the room? Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, by all means.
Right, this is the email address that you can get hold of Derrick. As Samuel said, yes, you can get hold of him through his email, which if you message me, guys, or anything, I can send you Samuel's email over and you can contact him. The one that's in the room that I've just put in is Derrick's, email. So that's one way to be able to communicate with them, is through the emails. Obviously, as I said, you've got his name up the top, Derrick Glover. That is for him on Facebook. So if you add him that way, obviously you've got Samuel. A lot of you have already got Samuel, but if you don't, most of you have got me. So just message me and I will put Samuel across to you and Derrick across to you. So they are the ways to communicate and contact them. Obviously, as we said, if you are interested in the products, make sure you state the interest that you're into, if that's an investigator or if that's an urban legend, worker, or if that's just somebody that's in a basic everyday life thing, or if you're somebody that likes to be in wild and you like to camp out, these are the guys for you. So just state that to them, state the size bag that you're wanting, because they will put prices of the bags and all of the content up. Anything that you specifically may want that they may be able to get hold of, do bear in mind that if there are extras and stuff put onto it, there may be a slight more charge on it, depending on what it is that you're asking for as well. I will state that. So away with it, guys. Now it's down to you to, do your thing and become potential customers for these two amazing guys and their new project that I'm supporting.
Well, I will start off and say thank you, Sherry. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
The products are good. They're well done and they're proper and they do the job.
Let me drop down so you guys can have the floor for yourself a minute.
The products are good and it works brilliantly and it does the job. If all hell breaks loose, you got your bug out bag, you have a chance at survival. It's just that simple. Go ahead, Derrick.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Sam. I mean, whatever you want, we can build it. If you want just a bag for comfort to make you feel at home when you're out in the woods, we can do it. I mean, the sky's the limit to whatever you want in your bug out bag. There's nothing we can't put in there that, depending on the shipping, I still got to figure out what we're allowed to ship overseas without getting in trouble. But I really can't see we can't ship. Not really. I don't know. I'll figure that one out. We'll figure out the logistics of it. But other than that, I mean, I look forward to working with everybody on this, because this is going to be a very interesting and enjoyable ride. It's going to be a trip. I can't wait.
And it's one that most of you guys should seriously think about having in your home. Guys, like for some of you might think, oh my God, that's a lot of money. It's not, guys, for your survival and for your family survival. It's not a lot of money, and it's logical and it's good. And for me, that is a very good price. And the prices that they set for each item bag, that would be a price that I would pay. Obviously, at the minute, I'm not in the position to do that. But when I do get some money in that, I will definitely be looking into purchasing one for myself, because they are very good to have and that. So it's down to you guys now. You've got the ways to contact them. You know who they are. What they're about, their businesses. That they're legit. They're very good at what they do. Now it's down to you guys to decide if you want to become their custom and, work with them. They will work with you.
Well, I guess that's it for me. And I want to say thank you to everyone that's been watching this. I want to say thank you to Sherry. I want to say thank you to Derrick, and I hope you folks have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Sherry. Thank y'all for everything.
Derrick. That's fine, and thank you for coming up. And guys, that was Derrick and Samuel. We hope that you did enjoy the evening and you've enjoyed learning about the survival bags and a bit about survival as well. So hit up Derrick and hit up Samuel for your future bags. And from all of us, lots of love, light, and blessings. Be safe, be real, keep enjoying the outside and the paranormal, and remember to stay real. And we will see you real soon. Love you all, angels. Bye-bye. Be safe. Be love. So, yeah, guys, lots of love and light to you all. Thank you very much for coming in and supporting these guys. You've been absolutely amazing. I have got some posts and stuff posted out upon Facebook to do with potential new shows and stuff coming up to do with the company as well, guys. You don't want to be missing them. We have got a show on Sunday, which is me and my lovely sister Christine. We are going to be doing a topic on certain spooky paranormal characters. There are 2 very good ones we're going to be bringing forward for that. Hello, Mystery. Hello, my darling. She's going to be up with me tomorrow, and we're going to be doing 2 very, very good characters. We've got some really good shows lined up and stuff, and a lot of the shows are all on the Pacific ideas that we were given by people in the company and in the streams recently. So we're going to be filling a lot of that out. So lots of really, really good stuff coming up. I'm hoping to get Pamela Nance back. I'm going to be emailing Tommy and lovely Tim, because I'm wanting them to come back up. As I'd said on a previous show to you guys, I would like it where you present all the content and give us a little bit to look into, and we go along with you this time. So I will email you in the next couple of days about that. Pamela, if you have watched this or you're seeing the video, please email me back if you haven't already. So I am trying to get some really good people. We've got Ross in November. He's a paranormal investigator who has also been involved in working slightly with the Ghost team, and obviously with Ghost Adventures at a Pacific time. So he's a really, really good potential investigator and person for you to be meeting, and very well known through TV and things. So guys, and he's an author, absolutely awesome books. So we've got a lot of really cool things coming up, you know, show wise and stuff. Everything else is, you know, a little bit slower at the minute, slowing down a little bit, but everything else is doing absolutely amazing. So I'm going to leave, and I'm going to talk to you all later, but I hope that you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed meeting Derrick and having Samuel back up as well. Now you know their plans and ideas. Please get in contact with them if you are interested about the bags. They are amazing. I am sponsoring and supporting them. So from me, lots of love, light and blessings, my angels, and I will see you on Sunday. And I'm hopefully possibly going to be doing some card readings tomorrow as well, Saturday, but we'll see how I feel. Lots of love and light, and thank you very much, and blessed be.